A comparison of Roberto Benigni films by Adam Stern. A little bit about Roberto Benigni. He is a great comedic Italian screenwriter who wrote, directed, and produced his own movies. Famous films include Life is Beautiful in 1997, The Tiger in the Snow in 2005, which will be the two films discussed in this presentation, as well as Down by Law in 1986 and Pinocchio in 2002. One film that Benigni is very well known for is Life is Beautiful, which he made in 1997. It is set in 1939, and Benigni plays Guido Oriface, a Jewish-Italian man. Guido moves to Italy to open a bookstore and also work for his uncle Eliseo. He meets Dora when she's a teacher, they get married and have a son named Jose. When Jose turns 5, German soldiers took Guido, his son, and his uncle to the Holocaust because World War II was in effect. Dora begs that they take her too so she could stay with her family. Guido tells his son that they are playing a game at the camp in order to keep his innocence from the terrible horrors that they are going through. He tells his son to do everyday tasks to earn points, where 1,000 points will get him a tank so they can leave the concentration camp and be freed. Guido protects his son at all costs by secretly communicating with his wife throughout the camps, where she is located at a different camp with all of the women. Guido risks his life in order to hide his son and free his wife at the end, and ironically enough, an American tank frees them the next day. Another film by Benigni is The Tiger in the Snow, which he made in 2005. This film is set during the Iraqi War in 2003. Benigni plays a character named Attio, a Roman poet and professor who is also a divorced father of 2 daughters. His friend Fouad is being interviewed by Vittoria, a woman who Attio falls in love with at first sight. He travels to Baghdad in the middle of the war to save her life because she was injured during a suicide bombing. Attio hears about this from his friend Fouad and then instantly believes that he can go to Baghdad to save her life. Attio is able to track down the hospital that she's checked into in order to learn that she needs specific medicine to relieve swelling in her brain that is also slowly killing her. He poses as an Italian doctor and to go get the medicine to bring back to the hospital in order to save her life. At the end, Attio finds out that it was his wife all along. Some similarities between the two films. One major similarity is that they are both set in a war setting. For instance, The Tiger in the Snow was set during the Iraqi War, where Life is Beautiful is set during World War II and the Holocaust. This war setting adds an additional factor to the plot and also provides drama and horror. It raises the stakes and puts characters in life or death situations, which is worked up well in love stories. This also sets up Benigni to make political jokes about the wars. Another similarity between the films was the underlying theme that love conquers all. Both dramatic comedies have a common theme of a deep relationship in terms of love in someone or their family. For Life is Beautiful, for instance, Guido hides his son, telling him that he is found he will lose the game. Then he risks his life to free Dora. Guido is clearly doing this out of the love of his family and putting his life aside in order to save them because of his love for them. In The Tiger in the Snow, he's clearly in love with Vittoria, so much that he leaves his home instantaneously when he hears the news of her being in the hospital. He also risks going to the Italian Red Cross, posing as a doctor, which would have got him arrested, in order to get the medicine that she required. In conclusion, Benigni did a great job of writing, directing, and producing most of his films. As you can see on the bottom, he has won Oscars. Both films helped us understand his style and craft in creating films, and they both showed how he's able to combine comedy with a dramatic love story while also addressing his personal beliefs of society and life itself. Here's my works cited for the presentation. Thank you all.